Hey there, students. This is Miss Barnes, and in case you are having a hard time completing a project, this is your first one to do in either 4A credit recovery or 4B credit recovery, I'm going to provide you a little breakdown. First, when you're in your class, currently I'm in 4A credit recovery. When you're in your class, you will see this nice big banner. Please make sure you read that. Sometimes I'm giving you extra credit, like this week. Please make sure you read the announcements. You want to scroll down. Sometimes you'll see sessions. Down here, I've given you helpful information about figuring out the projects. Again, another tip, and another tip. There really is no excuse for not knowing how to do the projects. Something else that's helpful before I show you is, see this resources button right here? Please click on it. Once you click on it, you will see a few folders. They might look a little bit different in your class, but they're still in here. If you don't know how to actually navigate the course, open this folder. But if you need help on the projects, you can click on the projects folders. There's one for all the projects, or they're broken down. And you can see that I've broken down each of the parts. All right, you'll notice there's 4 parts. Here's another project. 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. And here's another one, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so first and foremost, you have the banner and these announcements. It's really important that you read them. Secondly, you have this resources button. Please check it out. I've tried to provide some helpful stuff in there. All right, so next, let's say that you are ready to start your project on the Poe Project. Let's assume that you've worked through some of the coursework, but no matter what, you will always be able to see this folder inside the Order and Chaos unit, the Poe Project link. If we go to the War and Peace unit, we'll also notice that there's a folder for the War Poets Project. And if we look in Wealth and Poverty, the same thing. Same thing in 4B Credit Recovery. By now you know the drill, you've been in 4A Credit Recovery, same thing. So let's go back to our Poe project. If I click on this, I see that I have a link for all 4 parts. Sometimes you can't see the link just because you might have skipped a section. Maybe you're not all the way done with the unit. So this is a really handy way to have access to all 4 parts because you want to complete all 4. You really want to do your best. So I'm going to click on one. A new window is going to pop up, and this tells me the overview. I've got a checklist here. I've got links to my poems. Here is the worksheet that I want to use for worksheet 1. And then there's a rubric. But let's go ahead and open up this worksheet. As you can see, it's a chart for Annabelle Lee and the Raven. One thing you do want to do is, it's okay to work on it in the new window, but I suggest that you save it to your computer or your thumb drive. You can put it on your documents. That will work. You could save it there. Then you can simply open it up. There it is. And now I can type. I can type my name. And now I can type my details about my poems. Okay. As you are looking at this worksheet, if you have any confusion, the setting, where does it take place? Words that describe the setting. You can get that one. The narrator's identity. All right, for this one, sometimes you're like, I don't know. You think that the narrator might be Edgar Allan Poe, but no, he is the author. Who do you think the narrator is? It's often implied. You have to take a guess at it. So take a guess. Who do you think the narrator is? What is the narrator's state of mind? Again, sometimes you're going to have to take a guess. It won't tell you explicitly. It's implicit. It's implied. It's something that you have to guess at based on the details in the poem. What do the other characters add? Who are the other characters in the poem? A raven is even a character. Okay, so don't think that there are not any other characters. There are answers for all of these. And then what do these characters add? Again, use your brain. Use some critical thinking here. It's not going to tell you straight out. You have to guess based on the details in the poem. And then what is the mood? What is the overall emotion of the poem? Is it happy? Is it sad? Is it scary? Is it suspenseful? Is it shocking? What's the mood? And then what words help build that mood? What clues did you get? If you said it's suspenseful, how do you know? What words in the poem led you to that conclusion? More than one word, please. Try to be as detailed as possible. Then you have the conflicts. What's going on? What is the main conflict in the poem? It could be external, it could be internal, but there is almost always a problem. And finally, how are the conflicts resolved? All right, maybe it's not. If it's not resolved, how do you know? How is the conflict left at the end of the poem? All right, so basically, how is it wrapped up? All right, so that's your first worksheet. Please make sure you save it. See, yes, you would want to save it on your computer. Give it your name, and you can also call it the Poe Project worksheet if you'd like. I'm going to say no, I don't need it. I'm going to close this. I'm going to close this. I am not going to submit my project yet because I still have three parts left. So let's look at the listening. This time you need to listen to the poem. There's a link here for you to follow, and there is another worksheet. Again, save this to your computer, then you can open it up and type on it. Otherwise, you risk your answers not showing up on my end. All right, you only have to do one. All right, so only listen to one of the poems and complete the 3 boxes. All right, so either Annabelle Lee or The Raven. All right, and you're basically it's more of an emotional response. All right, this one's pretty easy. Part 3 is a writing part. All right, so basically you're going to be writing a parody about that is inspired by one of Poe's poems. All right, so a parody is just something that mimics something. It's written in the style. It could be humorous. It could be a humorous parody, or it could be something a little more serious. So you could write a love poem. You could write a supernatural poem about ghosts or people coming back from the dead. It could be humorous. It could be kind of a spoof on the Poe poem. The Simpsons do parodies all the time. But you do want to have a nice long poem. It's probably going to be 10 to 15 lines. It could be longer, but you want to make sure you have a nice long poem that helps capture the mood. You want to use the same short rhythm and rhyme that he uses. And you want to save it. Alright, so please be sure you save it. And finally, you have one more part. Don't give up. This is the speaking part. It's like bonus points. Alright, this is easy peasy. You're going to make a recording. Don't be embarrassed if other people are listening to you because they're making recordings too. Alright, it's just like you're having a conversation. I'm making a recording right now, and it's like I pretend that you're here and I'm talking to you. So you need a microphone, but if you don't have one, there are other options, and I will show you where those options are in just a minute. But basically, you're going to take the poem that you wrote for part 3, and you're going to read one stanza of your poem. All right, a stanza is like a chunk, a paragraph. It's a chunk of lines. So you're going to read that on your recording, and then once you have that, you want to save that. All right, so you've got all 4 parts. Then once you are ready, you are going to submit. Let me change my mode for a second so you can see it. All right, when you are ready to submit, typically at the end of the unit, you will see a folder. Just call it the Poe Project. It doesn't have the word links. So you click on that. And then if I want to review it, I can, but I actually want to submit. So I go here. Tells me how many points. This box right here, don't worry about it. I know it's big and it's tempting you to type in it, but don't be tempted. You can just ignore it unless you want to say, "Hi, Miss B," or "Miss B, I hope you enjoy my poem." That's great. You can send me a little message, but if not, you don't need to write anything there. Instead, you're going to come down here where it says Attach File. You're going to browse your computer. Where did I save that first part? I think I saved it back here. Alright, so here's my first part. I'm going to open it. Boom, there it is. Alright, but remember, you're not done. You have 4 parts that you just did. So click back on Browse My Computer. Let's pretend that this was it. Alright, I've got 2. I need 2 more. Let's pretend this is it. And finally, I need to find my recording. So this is it. Alright, so I've got my 4 parts here. I think I am ready. If you realize, oh, I put the wrong one there. Say do not attach. browse and find the correct one. Alright, so let's say these are my 4 parts. I am ready. I'm going to scroll down here to my blue button. Please don't click Save as Draft. That won't work. Submit. It might take a second to upload. And then you will see a little green box. This assignment is complete. Review the submission history. Alright, so you can review. Great job. Alright, now you can see it needs grading. That means it comes to me. I've got up to 72 hours. I try to be a lot quicker. And you will see that it needs grading. Eventually, you will be able to go into your My Grades button and you can see your feedback. You can't see it here because I'm a teacher and I don't have a grade. But that is basically how you want to submit. If you look on the Resources button, you will see some FAQs about passwords, all that stuff. You also find a document in there, a folder about how to submit if you're stuck on creating a recording. You also find that in there as well. All right, so that I hope that's been helpful. If you have questions, see this communication button. You click on that communication button, and you can create a journal. All right, give it a little name. Help. All right. Type, test, type whatever you want to tell me, hit submit. I will see that you've sent me a message and you are good to go. As a reminder, if you do complete a project by this Friday at noon, I'm going to give you 15 bonus points. Alright, but I'm only going to give you the bonus points if you tell me that you've completed a certain project. Alright, so in order to get those 15 points, you have to click on the communication button and send me a message saying, "Hey, Miss B, I finished a project for extra credit. Thank you so much." And boom, 15 extra credit points once I grade it. All right, I hope this has been helpful. If you have questions, send me a message. I can't wait to see some projects this week. Have a good one.